Anyways, all right. So we talk about so yeah, no, we don't have a layoff story, but acquisitions always going down. Just before we started
Oh,
today,
acquisitions. You mean the prequel to every layoff story?
acquisitions, not just the industry itself in terms of developers, the press as well. So as of a couple hours ago, IGN has acquired Eurogamer, GI, Game Informer, I guess, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and more. So
They're going to mandate not knowing how to play games anymore.
oh, wop 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 wop. Yeah, all the gamesindustry.biz, Dicebreaker, Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry, Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, Time Extension, pretty much all the game news
Everything
websites
you
that you currently might check every now and then, minus I guess like Silicon Era or Gematsu and stuff like that.
Welcome to Castle Super Beast, your primary source for video game information going forward.
Go under IGN, and IGN goes under Ziff Davis, and that also includes How Long to Beat.
Oh, there were layoffs alongside the acquisitions. Well, there you go.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Oh, yep. As a result of the acquisition, some redundancies have been made across the UK-based organization. There you go. Yeah. All right. Yeah. The funny part about that is I'm reading this story off of GameIndustry.biz.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Hey, shout out to and all the support for the incoming Twitch streams from these people. I wish you all the best of luck. It may feel like we are all technically in direct competition, but all boats rise with the tide, and I hope you all find your feet and land on your feet and do well.
Survive 2024.
Don't watch them though. Watch me.
That being said, X out on those windows and click over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best of luck. I won't. I'll feel bad about pushing you over.
So
but I'll do it.
So while that's your take on it, I do not want to even remotely compare ourselves to news and reporting for the industry, because that's not the way
Woolie,
that's not the
really
approach.
Bad news for you.
I know that I know that it de facto becomes the way people take it, but it doesn't change the fact that regardless, that responsibility / that onus, you can put that shit elsewhere, because
we haven't gotten better at our jobs. Everybody else just got way worse.
Stupid fucking farty, stupid, dumb dick bullshit while covering like anything of note that has to do with what's going on in a given week that may or may not include other stories that may be important or might not be important. Like, there are things that come up that are sometimes like, yeah, there's something that might have happened that is not on that list, or there might be something that is like not in our purview, right? We talk about a lot of shit that is like from Japan. We talk about a lot of shit that is from the Western studios and games that we care about and indies that we follow. There's a whole plethora of shit about sports, about first-person shooters, about genres that we just don't follow, pay attention to, esports, etc. That it's like, that's not this. This is not
Woolie,
that.
You are genuinely giving more thought, responsibility, and due diligence to the responsibilities that have fallen into your lap than literally every single person involved with the decision to make these acquisitions. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be unbiased. We definitely wear our biases on our sleeve, and that's fine. You do your best, and you do a good job. That doesn't mean you have to cover everything. But with the fact that everything kind of sucks, and we might suck a little bit less, that's just kind of how it fell down.
I just don't even want to be in the room while you're putting us in the folder. You know, you're putting us in the room, and I'm like, we're not in the room. Like that.
So here's the thing. Wait for me to explain it before you have a reaction. You sound like my dad right now. Because when my dad worked at a General Electric factory, he got put up for the union rep despite never putting his name in for the union rep. They said to my dad, all the guys trust you. You're a good guy. So we voted for you, even though you weren't on the docket for the union election. And he went, I don't want to fucking be the union rep. And they're like, it's too late. You're the union rep. And he's like, I don't want to do the union shit. And they went, sorry, you're going to have to do it. You're the only guy we can all agree on to handle this. So my dad had to go to all the fucking meetings and handle the renegotiation of his plant's contract with corporate. And he hated it. And everyone who came to him with a bribe, which was like a lot of people, he was like, ugh, I thought you were cool. I hate you and I hate this. And they went through and they did the contract well. And he didn't take the bribes. And then he fucking threatened all of his friends. And he's like, you ever put me up for that shit again, I'll kill you. And everything worked out great. The person who doesn't want to do a job that bears significant responsibility is often pretty decent at it. So chill.
Okay.
You explaining how you don't think you're responsible enough to handle the news only makes you look more trustworthy.
Listen. Okay, first of all, that's hilarious and that's wild, and shout outs to your dad. That's fucking if you're just a fan of a thing and you're talking about it as a fan, and then people listen, and then that becomes something, then like I can see how one way or another you can become that. It's almost like Jon Stewart talking about shit and making gag jokes about it, but then suddenly it's like, sorry, this is how people are getting their news, John. And he's like, oh no, that's not what I intended, or whatever. There is that element of it that I am aware of. I just know that, like, if I ever am to like think of myself or call what we do that, I'm like, there is a super high bar for doing this properly that I don't even remotely approach or think about in anything I do, nor do I think of that as a path for what I was trying to do. So I will never hold myself to that standard, and if anyone else does, my reply will be a giant, loud, wet fart.
So it reminds me, I don't know where I picked this up. I saw somebody talk about this recently, and I can't remember where. But you're familiar with the idiom, anything worth doing is worth doing well?
Sure.
It was the idiom, anything worth doing is also worth doing badly, rather than not at all. It is better for you, good person, to do games news badly than it is for other not good person to do game news well.
Yeah. If you happen to be overlapping with interests that we have for things and are content to ignore whatever doesn't apply, like, you know, I was like, should I even talk about the fact that there's Gundam in Call of Duty now? Not really.
Nah, who gives a shit?
You can't pilot them. You're just putting the costume on. So
it's weird.
You know, but there's a whole world out there that's very relevant to... Here's what I'm trying to say. Okay? To call us that while there is an episode where Vinny has to tell us what PUBG is.
Hey, nobody's perfect, man.
Is crazy.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Come on.
The fact that our friend has to show up and explain what PUBG is.
About it.
And you're gonna call and you're gonna say we're in that room is batshit to me.
Yeah, Wooly? You think that's crazy? You want to go hang out with guy who can't figure out the Cuphead tutorial and have this discussion with him?
But I'm not gonna fight. There people are like, yo, Gmod. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about no Gmod. The fuck? What, you know? Yeah. That's it. That's it. You know? That you all right.
Your constant assertions of anxiety over responsibility and the worries of not measuring up to this onerous task is only making you look more responsible.
It's just the Jon Stewart thing. It's just that fucking thing again. All right.
Remember when he gave up? You remember when he was like, "Fuck it, I guess I'm the news now."
Yeah. Well, no, and before that, when he left and he's like, "I'm going to do this my way." I'm going to do this story on AI. And then like Apple was like, how about you stop talking about that? And he's like, okay, I quit. Back to the news. Once a week. Here we go. Fuck this. All right. So here you go. Here is a super biased selected indie game announcement because it happens to overlap with things that we are interested in. There is a demo you can go play for Big Boy Boxing, which is
Big Boy Boxing,
a Punch-Out and Cuphead-inspired boss rush boxing game, which looks really cool because it's exactly up the alley of us.
Wow, you know what, man? That sounds like news I can trust.
Check it out.
Big Boy Boxing.
It looks very cool. And the animation style is, yeah, truly that beautiful, like, hand.
This looks great.
It's that hand animation.
You know what?
That you like from Cuphead, but it's also reminiscent of the animation style from Pizza Tower as well, too. A little bit.
That looks great. I have one more thing from the last conversation. I'm like, listen, Wooly, people know that this is the podcast where the phrasing "if you don't support Mighty Number 9, you're fucking stupid" came from. Right? Nobody's perfect.
But
nobody's perfect.
Yes, but like that expectation, I guess it's just, the expectation is also the same place that comes to, oh God, another fucking fighting game talk thing where it's like, yeah, I'm not your news source. I'm not your newspaper. I'm talking about the shit I care about. That's it.
I don't think. So here's the fun thing, because
that thought comes from that place of I'm opening my newspaper, and this week the newspaper is nothing but fighting games. Phooey.
Like here's the, we can compare this because you are you're a tall, like you dress well, you're a stylish, cool looking black guy.
Well.
No, you like I was actually just talking about this on stream the other day, how you always look really nice and how you always dress yourself really good. And me and Paige were talking up your house and how well it's put together and how everything's in its proper place.
Thank you.
Right? But you don't get the feeling that's unique to tiny white me when I explain to people, yeah, I do a podcast, and they look at me with that fucking look of another white guy trying to tell me about his fucking podcast. And Paige always comes in with the assist to go, quote, no, it's a real podcast.
Right. Okay. Yes.
It's a real podcast.
A Murder of Crows, a podcast of white guys.
Bro, I look
right.
exactly like a pandemic podcast white guy. And I have to spend like 10 minutes being like, no, I make a money. I make a money on the pot. Why Italian? That was not perfect.
I'm a YouTuber too.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. But just that that's it. That's what it is every time. So fucking whatever. Fucking I swear, like just going up to a microphone, accepting some sort of industry journalism award for truth in reporting, and just farting as loud as possible. And
hey, guess what, Wooly?
And just talking about frame data.
I bet you.
And, you
if you looked at all the video game podcasts, we have one of the highest percentages of layoff coverages of all of them.
So, okay.
We have tried to cover it every single time we've seen it.
So one thing I will say de facto is when it comes to unionization stories, that is 100% the case. And it just turns out that
it just goes right on. More layoffs, here we go, every week.
That turns out to actually does turn out to be the case, yeah. And I don't know if that's always based on like, well, the company that's putting this out has some feelings that they don't want to say, whatever the reasons are. Yeah, that is a thing that does come out. But
people say that Gigaboots also covers it all the time. Good for them.
Okay.
The only thing you have to lose is your chains. Anyway,
it's not. There is no rigorous. Like I'm thinking. Like I think of like I don't know. I'm thinking of like when Gene sits down to write up his review, right? And then the Aaron Sorkin episode that it's taking place within. You know what I mean?
What's happening?
The writing up and then the sending to the editor and then the scoop that's occurring at the last second and oh my god, we got to get our boots on the ground and go talk to somebody and get the full story.
He's the only guy left in the department that got destroyed.
I know. I am hyperbolically describing what it means to be a gumshoes game journalist reporter with your microphone and press hat, going to get the big scoop.
Here's what it's like over at IGN or GameSpot or whatever. Hey, Games Radar just posted a story. Okay, copy it and say we got it from Games Radar. Get it out. Find a screenshot of Elden Ring. Okay, change the words a little bit.
I mean, depending on the website, it might even just be like dump it in a generator, change it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What was it? The Scrumbos in World of Warcraft?
Scrimblows or
whatever the fuck it was.
Glupshitto. So excited. Yeah. Well, all right. Check that out.